War is raging, government is stealing our freedom, food processing plants are burning, and gun sales are through the roof. You're in the right place. This is The Prepared Mind.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. My throat's feeling better. I can speak without as much coughing and spitting and gagging. Anyways, folks, it is a nasty, nasty world out there. If the worst of my problems were feeling a little under the weather, that'd be great, but we've got big problems. I'm going to go through a bunch of news items with you guys, and I want your questions down below. I'm going to try and go fast because a lot has happened today on this Tuesday, April 29th. Holy cow, I tell you. Folks, before I get started on the news items, the world we're living in is extremely evil, and it's becoming more and more and more easily apparent and recognizable as we go. We're finding out who is on our side, the side of law and order, truth and justice, fucking human decency, and people who are moral and good, and then the opposite of that. For example, the satanic, radical, scumbag California Democrats have blocked legislation in California to make the sex trafficking of minors a felony. So what the Democrats are telling you is kidnapping, grooming, and pimping out children to be raped is not to be a felony in California. So I have to ask myself, what kind of evil do the minds of Democrats swim in to become so disgustingly twisted, perverted, deranged? Now, I'm sure my ex and all the other California Democrats would say raping children is fine because that's what they keep voting for. Democrats on the street keep voting for these Democrats who keep showing us they're fucking evil. We're not evil. They're the fucking evil ones, but they'll say these words right here.
There are public figures today, yesterday, and the day before predicting and all but calling for mass violence and rioting in the streets.
Obviously, Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy. We don't separate right-wing extremists and Republican Party anymore. Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy. We don't separate right-wing extremists and Republican Party anymore. Republicans are the biggest threat to democracy.
This means war. That is where we are. We are at war with these people. These folks are evil.
And all
They say we're evil, but look what they're doing. Well, we better protect murdering, rapists, drug-pushing kidnappers who are extortionists, bribers, thieves, and felons. We'll protect them, but we'll allow young women to be raped and murdered. And then invite them to come back into our country. These people are sick, folks. But they're going to keep calling us sick. So which one is it? Who is it? Now, will law and justice prevail, or will communist tactics win in the United States of America? Well, in North Carolina, there's a battle over the Supreme Court election, and it is now in a federal court, and it's in a judge's hands. Well, it's a Trump judge. A Trump judge has been assigned to this to find who is winning, who won, and how will the votes be counted, right? But there's no guarantees. Just because Trump picked this judge, there's no guarantees. Remember, these judges come in and they fucking lie about who they are in order to get promoted to the next position. For example, Justice Kavanaugh of the United States Supreme Court. Kind of conservative. He's voted the wrong way several times. Right? Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts. Funny, there's a John Roberts on the Epstein flight list. Could it be the same? Could it be the same John Roberts who is posing in a picture, reclining on the dais with Jizzy Maxwell? Well, he's voted the wrong way. He even made Obamacare a tax if you didn't buy it so that they couldn't fine you for disobeying their will. And of course, there's Amy Comey Barrett, lying sack of shit, right? So there's no guarantees. But counting votes after Election Day is and always should be illegal. And Democrats need to be jailed for keeping this effort going all across our country. Cheating is wrong. Cheating is a crime. Cheating is evil. That's what Democrats do. And they told us back in 2020, we will lie, cheat, and steal to win, and that was in Colorado. Now, earlier today, during Zero Dark, it wasn't quite Zero Dark anymore, but I had to get my throat cleared out before I could speak somewhat. But these fucking hypocrites, as discussed in the Zero Dark episode, here's another one. Michelle Obama says that deportation of these illegals is keeping her up at night. Well, wait a minute, you lying freak of a witch. Your husband, Barack Hussein Barry Soetoro, not an American-born American at all, deported 3 million illegals. And he spoke out against illegals, and so did Nancy Pelosi, and so did Hillary Clinton, and so did Chuck Schumer. All of these fucking people used to be anti-immigrant until they realized, hey, we got some voters here, right? Democrats are pure evil pieces of shit, and we need arrests. Michelle probably isn't up at night because she's worried about deportations. It's probably because of her hot dog and pizza parties she and Barack threw with the alleged pedophiles at the White House. They paid $65,000 for pizza and hot dogs from Chicago. Really? Now, the fight is on, folks. We need big-time arrests. And you and I, we have played a critical part in all of this. Questions, comments down below. We played a critical part in all of this by writing, calling, texting, emailing the White House switchboard and asking for your representative, asking for your senators to speak to them and tell them to make arrests, reveal the Epstein list, and it's working. The pressure is on, and they're crying, and they're sniveling, and they're fucking bitches. Now, down here in Florida, not perfect, but at least she's fucking trying a lot in a lot of good ways. Representative Anna Paulina Luna has gone after Pam Bondi, do-nothing Attorney General, right? And she demanded again, Anna Paulina Luna has, the immediate release of the Epstein list because now we have 2 victims dead. And the public trust in her office, in the Trump administration, is dwindling. Now, look, Pam and Cash and even Dan Bongino know. They know we have not forgotten. We have not given up on justice for hundreds of raped and murdered children. Kidnapped, raped, murdered, abused. Who knows what else? I don't know what else you can add to that could make it worse. Hundreds of children. And Pam and Cash and Dan know who is responsible, who funded it, and they won't fucking release it. I say write them and demand justice by releasing the list and making some fucking arrests. Call them cowards. Fucking cowards is what they are. We have to fight back, folks. The evil in this country is over the fucking top. We have Islamists everywhere. We have actual Satanists everywhere. We have Antifa everywhere, BLM everywhere. You have pro-Hamas terrorists and other terror groups everywhere. These people are dining on illegality and funding from your tax money. It still fucking blows me away that our taxes were paying for them to fuck us. Unbelievable. And speaking of a good screw job, the Illinois, not the governor, not Prickster, but instead this is the chair of the GOP. That's right. The Illinois Republican chair is demanding a criminal investigation into Governor J.B. Prickster. For what? For inciting violence. Folks, 6 children are now injured, and 4 children are now dead because a lunatic liberal slammed their assault SUV into a crowd of children. And Governor Pritzker's unhinged bullshit remarks, and they were captured on video, folks, and they were shared all across social media so he can be held responsible. What he said included a quote call for quote mass protests, mobilization, disruption, and denying Republicans a quote moment of peace under the Trump admin. And then he said, folks, get this, quote, it's time to fight everywhere and all at once. Now, he got loud applause from his little audience. And then he finished with this, quote, never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption. But I am now, end quote. I say arrest the filthy fat fuck. In my opinion, I'm going to take a wild fucking guess and say his fat ass is on the Epstein list too. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. Are you prepared for what's coming, folks? Are you prepared? Oh, it's incredible. I hope you're all aware that the power went out in Spain, Portugal, France, and other European nations. Why? Well, because several weeks ago, they congratulated themselves, patting themselves on the back and saying, we did a great job with green energy. We're shutting down coal plants. And they're relying on the green energy. It came up short, started tripping breakers up and down the entire Western European seaboard and nations. Luckily, they were only down several hours. I think it was 6 total. Oh, man, any idea? Was it 5 or 6 or 7? It depends on the area you're looking at, I think. In any event, they caused this. They, the green weenies and their green bullshit plan. And they also said that the frequency, I don't know what hertz has to do with anything. Europe runs on 50 hertz. We run on 60 hertz. But anyways, they said that the frequency dropped too low. Something happened, started tripping things. Unbelievable. These people are that sick, folks. Now, in America, we have a judicial coup going on. And if the judicial coup and insurrection from judges is not stopped, what I'm about to tell you is going to happen to all of us, me and you, all of us in America. Down in Brazil, one of the Supreme Court judges, Alexandre de Moraes, forced her way into an intensive care unit in a hospital to serve the former president, Bolsonaro, for fraud. He's having fucking abdominal surgery, former president, and they're going to break into an ICU to serve him papers for what they're calling fraud. Now, I'm going to say this in all seriousness. Communists are whores for violating the rights of non-criminals. They get off on it. They will take money for it and do that all day long, while simultaneously claiming rights for criminals and aliens that do not exist. They went after Trump for fraud. They went after Trump for having classified documents he wasn't supposed to have. Well, it turns out there's a leak coming out saying, well, no. He had documents on Hillary Clinton that were declassified, but she wanted them back. And so she used Biden's Attorney General, Merrick Garland, and the FBI to go get them. But yeah, they'll go after someone like Trump for fraud while they claim rights that don't exist for criminals and aliens, right? The war against and the war from judges, folks, is coming. The judges are going to commit war on all of us, and we're going to end up going to war with the judges. So let's try that again. Islam, communists, Antifa, actual Satanists, BLM, and judges. Now we've got 6 fucking armies of morons that are evil to come after us. You have enough ammo? Do you have enough ammo? Right? It's just the question I like to ask. Do you have enough ammo to protect yourself, your family, and everyone you love? Like I said, I keep a shitload of ammo always within a few feet of me, along with the appropriate, freedom seed spreader. Understand, folks, they're not going to quit. They're not going to go away. They're not going to stop. We can be right. We can have authority. We can have power in the proper seats, and it doesn't matter. The judges out there are what? Committing crimes. And here we go again. Let's do it. How about this? The insurrection grows, right? Another off the reservation rogue judge is vowing to risk arrest so that that piece of shit filth judge can sabotage the deportations that Trump and us voters want. This hideous looking liberal witch is a Milwaukee judge named Monica Isham. And I say she needs instant removal for verbalizing her intent to harbor fugitives. Certainly, with respect to the terms good behavior used in the Constitution, it shows 100% lack of intelligence, 100% lack of patriotism, and an intent to disobey the law and the rules and the procedures and the policies, everything. Our traditions, our culture, decency. When she comes out and claims, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. That makes judges the enemy of the people. It does. They're the enemy of the people, folks. And speaking of the enemy of the people, Jake Tapper of CNN Misfortune, right, showed the mugshots of all the convicted alien rapists, convicted murderers, convicted pedophiles that were put on yard signs and stuffed into the White House lawn so that everybody that drove by, every visitor, all media had to see all of those illegal scumbags and the crimes they committed. Well, Jake Tapper blurred their faces and names out so people couldn't see it when he did his report. And then he went on to suggest that they're innocent. They are convicted rapists, murderers, and pedophiles. Convicted in other countries and also caught in this country committing similar heinous acts. So, now understand, while they're the enemy of the people, and the voters in the polls have Democrats down at 21%, maybe less by now. That's their favorable rating. And CNN viewership, which is where Jake Tapper works, is all but non-existent. But they're not going to quit. The money they were getting from USAID, you said, it's been dried up. But they're still getting enough. They're still getting enough money. Who is funding? Right? Who's paying? Watch the commercials on CNN. Watch the commercials on NBC, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, CNBC. Those commercials, those companies want you dead because they are pro CNN and ABC and NBC and CBS, et cetera, et cetera. And those people support the Democrats. And the Democrats are 100% fucking evil now. I don't know if my stories, my news items have properly laid it out, but I have a pretty good feeling that they did. That we have got this basically down, right? I mean, there's such fucking whores and prostitutes. Everyone knows who Jeff Bezos is, right? The owner of Amazon.com. Well, I've got a Dr. Evil Bezos update. Now, Bezos came out, or Amazon came out and said we're going to put on the website Chinese tariff costs on all the products and show that it's Trump's tariff. Right? They wanted to blame on Amazon Trump for all the tariffs. Now, remember and understand that China tariffed us already. And remember, you can have an import and an export tariff. So China could tariff our products going to China, whatever we make that they want, and they can charge us a tariff for sending stuff our way. And then, of course, our government can charge tariff back and say, well, fuck you. We're going to charge you back then. Well, Bezos was going to pull this little fucking game and try and shit on Trump. And now he's backtracked. Why? Because the stock value of Amazon.com took a giant shit. So, Bezos, who do you serve? Yourself and your investors or your Chinese masters? Oh, yeah, he's also taking money from the Chinese and not criticizing them or anything that comes from, they're, again, sucking up. Sucking up. Unfucking believable. Now, everyone knows who Virginia Giuffre. She is the the recently Arkancided Jeffrey Epstein informant, witness, victim. Well, her dad came out and denied the suicide bullshit, the narrative that's out there. And he's demanding a full and independent investigation into her death. Well, what I want to know is why hasn't he taken a father's revenge on the list of Epstein's members? I'm sure, and maybe you can answer the question for me. Wouldn't you expect Virginia would have told him who the pedophiles were? Maybe not all of them. Maybe all of them. Maybe just the most famous ones. I'm sure that if a family member of mine, especially my sons and grandchild, were victimized by these sick fucks in their red shoes, what have I got to lose anymore? Should I've already lived the greatest life a fucking man could live? The next best thing would be becoming an American hero to the masses by killing off these fucking pedophiles. I'd like to know why he hasn't done that. In any event, maybe he's tried. Now, speaking of killers, speaking of sports, let me start with sports, right? Once again, the evil's out there, folks. Now, over in the United Kingdom, in soccer, they call it football, but soccer, right? The Premier League winners, well, of Liverpool, they're going to be punished by the United Kingdom's Football Association because a player displayed a shirt that says, "I belong to Jesus." Right? He took the shirt off after he scored a goal, and people could see that. Oh my God, he exposed that. So they're going to fine him and the team for doing that. But don't forget, folks, the league mandated wearing flag-it rainbows against people's religious objections, their moral objections. Now, that's happening in the United Kingdom. In America, we're quickly going the same route. If we don't stand up to Islam and Satanists and the LGBTQ crowd, oh, I forgot them. So you got Satanists, Islamists, judges, LGBTQ, Antifa, right? Just fucking Hamas and Hezbollah groups. There's so much evil out there, folks. Anyways, the UK has lost because Queer Starmer, who's a queer, and the Camel Jockey Aloha Snack Bar a-holes who can murder little girls, rape little girls in England, and not go to jail. Europe is lost. They are going to have to fight their own battles over there, and they don't have the Second Amendment. Over here, we've got a First Amendment and a Second Amendment. Don't worry. Israel's out there making sure no one can criticize it by trying to pass rules. Too bad. We can say whatever the hell we want about any country, including Israel and China and Russia and the UK. We can say whatever the hell we want. And I intend to. Any country that says you can't talk about us, what are you hiding? Right? What are you hiding from? The truth? Uncomfortable facts? It's incredible, folks. Absolutely incredible. Now, while we're in the realm of sports, there's this asshole last year named Matt Petgrave. He is a hockey player. He was the one who was skating down the ice, spun, lifted his skate to neck level, throat level, right? He is not going to face charges. For what? For a throat-slashing death of Adam Johnson. That's right. Prosecutors in England are woke assholes. Oh, yeah. Petgrave is black. And he raised his skate neck high while skating down the ice as fast as he could. He turned the blade and sliced right through Johnson's jugular, and he bled out on the ice like a fucking horror movie. But because England is woke and they don't want it to appear that they're attacking a black man, they won't even try him because you know what they said? They said, why should we even have a trial? Because no jury is going to find him guilty. That's where we're at now, folks. You can watch the video and say what you want. Nobody does what this fucking asshole did. Nobody skates down the ice, spins around, jumps, puts their fucking skate up in the air, knowing they're going right at a player who has the puck. It was like a ninja fucking spinning back kick, sliced through his fucking jugular. The guy falls down and blood is fucking squirting everywhere. I'm sure the jihadis love that shit because they do the same fucking thing to people. They slice their fucking throats open and bleed them out on the street because you aren't Islamic. The whole thing is just sick, folks. Now, as a final caution before I get to your comments and questions, down below, please. Number one, share this video and share all Prepared Mind videos. Most people don't even know we're here. They think preppers went away with Armageddon preppers and preppers unloaded and preppers unwound, whatever the fucking prepper shows were. Armageddon prepper, whatever that was, years and years and years ago. They just quit making shows about people who are prepping. And so most of the country thinks, yeah, see, it wasn't needed. Oh, it's fucking needed. The last couple of days in Europe have shown people you better be prepared. Hell, the last few years in England and Europe, you better be prepared for people around you. In America, you better be prepared, but most people aren't. They're just not. Some idiot was talking shit about gold and silver. Man, you can't eat that stuff. What do you want it for? Well, you don't just need gold and silver, dickhead. That's after you have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense, and a complete and total understanding of the world around us. That's why we cover current events every day, from the local level to the state, national, and even geopolitical level, so we know what the hell is going on. If you're not aware, you're oblivious. If you're not aware and prepared, you're going to be a victim. And I'll give you an incredible example of how to not be oblivious and why you should be a prepper. In Kashmir, India, a tourist was sliding down a fucking zip line and thought he was doing a selfie zip line move the whole way. Unknowingly, rather in oblivious fashion, this fucking idiot on a zip line is filming terrorists killing Indians. He's not paying any attention to the people with AK-47s, and they're shooting him. You can hear him in the fucking video. Crack, 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 crack. People are being massacred. A couple of dozen people were massacred because they weren't Islamic. Situational awareness, please. Be prepared. Please, we have to be prepared. We have to be. If not, You're going to be a victim. You're going to be a statistic. And folks, not all statistics are good. In fact, very few are. You never hear about the good ones, right? In any event, let's do it. Let's go to the inner circle and your questions. My voice is holding up pretty good. This is good. So we'll finish up the show and we'll go on from there. Mr. Uman, you say we got some good stuff out there. Let's get to it. And we start with Badass Diving Frog. And he says, John, I see where Judge Hartman left the country after Carolyn Levitt hit him with an $800 million lawsuit. Judge Hartman, gone, huh? Carolyn Levitt, I believe, is the White House spokesgirl. Am I correct, Mr. Uman? Yeah. There's a lot of lying going on out there, folks. Now, you can lie all you want. You can make jokes. But you're not allowed to libel or slander people in a way that is harmful to them or can cause loss. Now, people can lie about me all they want, I guess, because one, I don't hear about it. Two, I don't give a fuck. And, they're not hurting me. But when you attack someone like Carolyn Levitt, you can get in trouble. In fact, Trump is suing the ever-loving fuck out of 60 Minutes for editing and doctoring an interview with a political candidate in an effort to make her look like she wasn't retarded. So that's, there's so many ways you can get in trouble with things you say. But this show is parody, satire, and a backhanded slap in the face of those in power. So, here we are. But yeah, Judge Hartman, whoops, $800 million lawsuit. Funny how when they're ready to leave, these people know how to check out, folks. Do you think that Judge Hartman, whoever the fuck he is, or she is, or it is, do you think that judge is going to leave all their money behind? No. They'll move it offshore. It's not hard to do. They'll move it offshore, and then they'll go expatriate. They probably already have dual citizenship with at least one other country. At least one. Probably false identification in those countries as well, so that they can move the money around and live anonymously. Oh, there's going to be times, folks. I will be proud to sit in judgment of judges should we get the chance to remove them from office and hold them accountable for their violations of our rights. And boy, I tell you, there's going to be hell to pay. In any event, yep. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Mr. Diving Frog. There's going to be a lot more people leaving the country. I wouldn't be surprised. And I think this is one of the things that one of the excuses, I should say, that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel will say is, we've got 500 Epstein clients, and if we arrest one, the rest are going to scatter like cockroaches. Put all of their names out there. Release the fucking list, Pam. Worthless Pam, worthless Cash, worthless Dan. Put the names out there. And if they run, they're fugitives of the law, and they cannot escape the fact that what they did was commit an international crime. An international crime. I would rather have these fucking people, folks, not in America, hiding internationally like escaped Nazis in World War II, and we can send the FBI out, or the CIA, or the NSA, or mercenary, you got it, bounty hunters, to go drag their sorry asses back. I think it'd be fucking great. Well, I go down to Cartagena, Colombia, and I catch me a fucking pedophile on the list. First thing I do is call the American consulate, give him an address, come pick us up, take his ass to the consulate, and he's going back to Guantanamo Bay to be fucking tried as an international criminal. As soon as they leave, confiscate whatever wealth they have, real estate, etc., and you smear the fuck out of them on TV, right? Accused, alleged pedophile runs. That would do it, folks. They're going to have a hard time buying off politicians, fucking us over, cheating, and taking and stealing money and laundering money. All that if they're on the run. If they're busy running, they're not committing more crimes. That's my take on it. Fuck them. Don't just let them run around and act like they're going to get away with it. Oh, we're going to set up a giant sting operation and arrest 500 all at once. Bullshit. Bullshit. Pam Bondi is a sack of shit. Prove me wrong, Pam. I'll apologize. I'll eat my words. I'll say, geez, I doubted you, and now you have come through. You're a true American hero. Same with Cash, same with Dan, but until then, you're fucking dogs. Because of what they're doing, folks. They've got the information, the lists, the names of the bad guys. They've got the authority to arrest them. They've got the legal means to prosecute them, and they're not fucking doing it. That is inexcusable. Deplorable Yankee Redneck says Trump should tell his appointees to release the Epstein, Diddy, and Maxwell files and make arrests, or fire them. If he doesn't, he is just as bad. Now, I know what you're saying. If Trump doesn't make them do it, then he's just as guilty as they are of not doing it. Now, have they gone to Trump and said, here's our plan. We're going to set up a sting, and we're going to catch all of them, all 500 of them, all at once. We're going to have 2 agents assigned to each fucking pedophile. Let's see, if there's 500 pedophiles and 2 agents, that's 1,000 agents have to be told what the plan is and what their job is. You're supposed to go watch this guy, and you don't arrest him or do anything until we say. How many times do you think that these agents out there will leak what they're doing and who they're watching and advise them? I'll tell you, probably half of them or more. Because what did Kash Patel do? What did Dan Bongino do? They promoted a crooked piece of shit FBI agent who persecuted Americans on January 6th. He was the J6 Hunter. That was his fucking nickname. And they promoted him to run, was it the Washington field office or the New York field office? I think it was the Washington, D.C. FBI field office. Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you give someone like that a promotion? More power, a fucking raise, more prestige for being an anti-American, sellout sack of shit. Now, if you think I'm frustrated, it's because I am. If you think I'm pissed, it's because I am. But I'm not violating any law. I'm not committing any crime. I'm not telling anyone to do insurrection. I'm not telling anyone to get violent. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I'm not suggesting it. Nothing. But the Democrats sure are, aren't they? Oh, you bet. You bet they're going to stand up and do everything wrong. Unbelievable. Thank you, deplorable Yankee Redneck. I've had it with these fucking people. I really have. Let's continue. Mr. Uman, who shall we put up next? What is the topic? And it's Redneck Roughneck, who says that the new leader of Canada is wanting to go to war with us and Trump. Yeah, the conservative Canadian, Poilievre, or whatever the hell his name is, has lost to the New World Order, World Economic Forum member who doesn't even fucking live in Canada. That's the new prime minister, who is good buddies with Jizzy Maxwell. I don't trust any of these people, folks, but this guy wants to go to war with Trump and the United States of America. This guy is the mouse that roared. I love Canadians, folks. I fucking hate Canadian politicians as much as DC politicians. If they polled the Canadians, what do you think the polls would say to do? But for some reason, Canada seems to like electing socialists. Unbelievable. There's a price to pay, folks. When you're responsible for yourself, you pay your own way, and you're free. But when you rely on someone else, that someone else always has a quid pro quo, meaning you owe them. You do what they say. Right? Someone's going to buy your dinner, you eat what they serve you. You want a free ride down the road, you're going to go where the person driving the car is. And the more these people around the world think that socialism is the answer, that government will provide, they're getting taken for a ride, they're being fed a line of shit, and they're going to be forced to do their master's bidding. And so Canadians have a choice, just like Americans have a choice. And the question is, who is the master that you serve? Now, the Democrats serve evil. Look at their policies. They don't even have a political platform. Their policies are abort it, kill it, or free the murderer so they can kill. That's their policies. Invasion, have your country invaded. Women are raped. Fucking people are God, just everything they want. Death, murder, destruction, chaos, Americans losing jobs, right? The loss and theft of property, homes. You know that in England and the United Kingdom, the police show up and kick people out of their fucking houses. They don't own property over there. The government show up and kick people out of their fucking homes to put migrants in their homes. Period. Pack your shit up and get out. We're giving your house to someone else. Oh, thank you, socialist government. You guys are fucking great. Make a tweet that makes someone uncomfortable. The police show up, not at 4 or 5 in the afternoon. They show up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, wake you up, and then arrest your ass for tweets, writing something in social media. Right. Uman says the Liberals in Canada were something like 20% down in the polls 2 weeks ago. It was 30%. 30% 2 months ago. This Poilievre guy, whoever the fuck he was, squandered a massive lead. Sounds a lot like American Republicans, doesn't it? They own Congress, both the House and the Senate. And you know what they've done? The number one thing they've done is gone on fucking vacation. Fuck the Republicans in Congress. All of them. They're fucking slimy losers. Maggot Mike Johnson. You know what they were talking about today? You know what they were working on today? What? Fucking awards for hockey players. Awards for fucking hockey players. Excuse me? Right? They could go after judges. These evil, twisted fucking judges, they could go after that. They could be passing some hardcore voting legislation. They could defund anyone that they're funding and take their funds away if they're doing anything woke or DEI or critical race theory or LGBTQ crap or transgender crap in women's sports and women's locker rooms and women's lives or forcing fucking kids to read pornography. Allowing teachers to read pornography to students. Are you out of your fucking gourds? That's the Democrats. And the Republicans could get rid of that altogether. They could defund the fuck out of it, criminalize it, and we could make shit happen. Instead, nothing. Let's talk about an award for hockey players. I don't have a whole lot of hope anymore, folks. Little bit black-pilled because we're not seeing these fucking arrests in Congress is a bunch of shit. Maggot Mike Johnson can burn in fucking hell. And it wouldn't bother me because he earned it. Right? These people know that they're doing wrong. They know it. How can they not fucking know it? Not releasing the Epstein records, not arresting the Epstein people, not closing the borders, not stopping the false voting, not getting rid of these bad judges. Everything that I just lined out. They're not doing anything about it, and they know it. You think they all got back from vacation and they're all like, you know what? We really need some hockey awards. We need to recognize hockey players in this country. Really? That's the number one fucking thing on their mind? I remember back at the elections, what was the number one thing on the mind of all voters? The number one thing across the nation was illegal immigration. Bar none. I mean, there were other items there that were important, but the number one. So they've shut down the border and done a great job. Very few are coming across, but the deportation efforts are not real great. They're not great. They keep saying, deport yourselves, because if we catch you, you're not going to be fucking happy about it. They're sending thousands and thousands of people. They're capturing some really bad hombres. I get it. But if Barack Obama can kick 3 fucking million people out, and he's just Barack dumbass Obama. If he can do 3 million, why can't Trump do 3 times that? 9 million. Why doesn't the federal government, follow me here, subsidize any municipal police department, any county sheriff, any state police department, right? State troopers, highway patrol, whatever you want to fucking call them. For every illegal you catch and give to us to deport, we're going to pay your department $5,000. They'll fucking be rolling around giving police tickets and fucking Rolls Royces. Fine. Because if we could just save one life, it'd be worth it. Why do we have to lock our country down? Lock the fucking country down because of a cold. The symptoms I had from swimming in the river at Chazahowitzka, the cold I got from that, which is why I'm kind of fucked up, is worse than anything I had for the 4 years starting with, like, the COVID outbreak at the end of 2019, by the way. Wasn't promoted heavily by the government until March of 2020. And then they bullshitted everyone. If I even had it, I wouldn't have fucking known it. A disease so bad that you have to get tested to find out you have it. A disease so bad that nobody died at home from it. You only died if you went to the fucking hospital and they fucking put you on an intubator and fucking killed you and then collected their $60,000. We don't forget. Now, maybe it was only 55,000. Maybe it was 65,000. Those are small, little, interesting numbers. But the fact that thousands and thousands and thousands of people died. If we could just save one life, it'll be worth staying home for 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, lockdown for a fucking year. You know, that's our government. That is evil government. Where were the Republicans? Fucking jerking themselves off, and the Democrats at the same time. That's what they were fucking doing. They're high on fucking power. Arresting people for smuggling Kentucky Fried Chicken. Arresting old women for sitting on park benches. Arresting children trying to go to the fucking park. Arresting people for wanting to swim at the beach. Harassing the fuck out of people. And the cops were all about that shit. Oh, yeah. I'm going to write you a fucking ticket. I'm going to haul you out of this store because you won't wear a mask. Fuck all of you people. Was what I say to the left and any Republicans who didn't stand up. And just put the Republican governors, mayors, sheriffs, they should have put an end to that shit. You come and touch me, you're violating my fucking rights. They should be arrested for assault and for fucking denial of rights, and anyone in government authority that does it under color of law. These fucking people, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I've been ready for fucking years, right? I'm still fucking training for it, still thinking, we haven't forgot. I know you haven't. Don't let them convince you it's okay to forget, because that evil is going to jump all over you and dance and sing cock-a-doodle fucking do on your forehead the moment they get power back. Mr. Uman, let us continue if we shall. Chin says, Prickster wants his minions to treat us the way he treats a buffet. Now, I know some people are large. I know some people have weight problems. I know it's hard to lose weight because it's been really hard for me to drop from 280 down to 270 or whatever the hell it is I weigh now. It's hard to lose weight. But Prickster is a billionaire governor. Prickster has, what is it, 60, 70, 80 different NGOs? Or is it 160? How many does that fat fuck own? 60, 70? I can't. 65. 54, 55. Right in there. Over 50 fucking non-government organizations this fat fuck of a government's controlling. How can that be an NGO if the fucking governor owns it? In any event, that fat fuck, he probably looks at a menu at a restaurant and says, I'll take it. He goes to a fucking buffet and says, where can I put my chair to start eating all of this? He wants his minions to treat us, right, the way he treats a buffet. And that's, well, just fucking consume it all. He wants his minions, his Antifa, his BLM, his LGBTs, his Islamic hordes, and his Democrat filth. He wants to own it all. Right? If I owned a buffet and I saw Prickster coming, I'd put the close sign on real fast. In any event, folks, that's what he wants. He is inciting violence. But they didn't do anything to Mad Maxine Waters. They didn't do anything to Kamala Harris. Did I say her name right? Kamala. I've heard people calling her that. It's fucking Kamala. It's camel toes. Right? She incited violence and told people to keep doing what they're doing. Governor, what's it? All of them. All of these fucks. They caused people to lose their jobs, their businesses, their fucking lives. And they're holding positions of power still. The time is going to come. In India and in China, they either knock down mosques or they turn them into fucking restaurants or nightclubs. In all truth, I'd rather knock them the fuck down to the ground. Because they know what evil is and what it does. Right? India just suffered a couple of dozen people getting slaughtered by these Islamic turds. There was I watched this. It was terrible. It was probably a 9 or 10-year-old girl in England. They put the little fuzzy thing over her face so you couldn't identify her. But she said every single day, her and her friends are threatened with being attacked and raped by Pakistanis, by Muslims from Indonesia and Pakistan and the Far East. She said they threaten them. They threaten to rape them. They threaten to kidnap them. They demand that they get blowjobs. These are from little girls. They sit outside the schools in their fancy cars that they've either stolen or been given by the government. And they threaten and harass them every single day. The teachers do nothing. The schools do nothing. The police does nothing. The government does nothing. The enemies are all around us, and people like fucking Prickster are part of the problem because they will not solve it. Pam Bondi is part of the problem. She will not solve it. Trump needs to make it happen, and he's not doing anything. He was asked about Virginia Giuffre, right? And he said, oh, yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, it's more than that. Release the fucking lists. Arrest these people. Make them run and hide. I don't care if half of Washington has to run and hide. Good. That is fucking great. I think we should have special elections. for anyone who vacates their office, abandons ship. I think it'd be fucking marvelous. One for the history books. Can you imagine that? He can go down as the greatest president ever. Even Andrew Jackson would be like, dude, that's amazing. I'll hold your beer while you work, right? Because it'd be one that no one would ever forget and the world would always remember. And that's what we were hoping for. That's what we wanted to see. And that's what we voted for, was to watch all of these evil snakes run for their lives and go hide in their hidey holes in New Zealand, in Australia, in Indonesia. But it didn't happen. Anyways, Chin, thank you, sir. And I know you are every bit as pissed off as the rest of us. And folks, there are millions of us. And at some point, the gloves come off. When government will no longer do its job, its sworn duty, as it's failed the people, then we will have to take government and control into our own hands. I'm not telling anyone to commit insurrection or sedition or do anything violent or illegal. But when the people have decided they've had enough, it will be a completely lawful as well as legal action they take. It's right there in the Constitution. It's right there in the Declaration of Independence. And Texas is having a big problem right now. They're having a huge problem with these Islamists buying off politicians. And it's very clear right there in the Texas Constitution that the people can, at any time, get rid of their government. At any time, the people can just do it. And it's perfectly lawful of them to remove corrupt government. You just have to be willing to show up with your guns and enough people to say, he is out. They are all out. If they can do a government shutdown for weeks at a time at the federal level, then we can do it for weeks at a time at the state level. Clean out the governors, clean out the fucking legislatures, the senators, the bureaucrats, all of them. Just fucking go home. We don't need you. The government can operate. Well, we don't need the government. The people can operate all by themselves. The police can make sure no one's murdering anyone. That's just fucking fine. We're going to find out how this plays out, folks. We don't need government. I don't need it all day long. I can go out and do my fucking job. I go to the store, obey the traffic lights, pay my fucking taxes when I buy stuff, come home, climb down the bunker, shut the hatch, enjoy some Spam. I don't need the government for anything. All righty. We got just a few minutes left, and Nikki, doing stuff with Nikki, has something to say. And she says, this is why I trust Noon. No one. This administration came in. Take a step back and really concentrate on what's going on. A lot of talk, nothing happening, honey. Only thing all of us always should live by, my dad taught me, actions speak far louder than words. Regardless of what camp you cozy to, you keep people to that, you will see them for what they are. Thank you very much, Nikki. Well, we have to elect people based on their words because they don't have the authority to do the things they say they will do. Now, I'll say this in Trump's defense. I'll say this in defense of the Republicans. They are far less overtly fucking evil than the Democrats. But that's it. That's all I can say. They are slower and sneakier and quieter. Democrats don't give a fuck anymore. They're in our faces. They're going to destroy our country. They're going to steal your kids. They're going to convert everyone to Islam or communism or Antifa or just flat ass plain old Satanism. You wouldn't believe. This is sent to me by Lily today. Fucking doctors are now saying, we don't know what to expect with all these transgender kids. We're going to have to wait another 5 to 10 years to see what happens and see how this all shakes out. These fucking doctors are evil. Dr. Evil, right? No, it's not just a joke. They're fucking evil. They've been experimenting on kids with drugs and surgery and psychology and psychotropic drugs for years, and it has been an absolute awful experiment. They should all lose their fucking licenses. They should have their money confiscated to pay back the victims' families. And they should be thrown in fucking jail. It is immoral. It is unethical. It is a medical fucking nightmare that they've created. And the psychological nightmare out there on the fucking streets. To literally hear teenagers pretend and actually believe that, well, I can't get pregnant now because I decided I'm a boy. I mean, they're that fucking stupid. It's going to be up to us to fix this. That's what I'm saying. That's the upshot on all of this. That's the upshot on all of this. Is it's going to be you, it's going to be me, it's going to be us that have to fight them. Because these idiot kids don't know any fucking different. The Gen Z, the Gen Y, the generation millennials, half of them are fucking worthless, half or more. And the ones that are conservative, folks, they are hardcore. And I've been talking to them lately. They are hardcore freedom, liberty, truth, justice, the American way, and thinking with their fucking brains. But the ones that drank the Kool-Aid, and I know I'm going long and I apologize, but the kids out there, these generations, even from my generation, Gen X, it's like, how can you be retarded? You grew up in the fucking 70s and 80s. How can you just turn your fucking brain off? Fucking pop the lid on your fucking top, pulled your brain out, threw it in the fucking garbage disposal, slam that fucker shut. No, open it back up, poured in some fucking Fruit Loops. Fucking unbelievable. But here we are. This is the world we have now inherited. Is it our fault? In a way, it's kind of our fault. In a way, we've allowed this to happen. I never voted for any of it. I always voted against it. I've never spoken for it or excused it. I've always spoken against it. You guys know that. I've spoken out against all of the evil, the Satanists, the trannies, the faggots, everyone. I've spoken out against evil countries. The UK is an evil country. Israel is an evil country. Iran is an evil country. China is an evil. They're all fucking evil. The United States government in Washington, D.C. is evil. I don't turn on the news and see angels playing their fucking harps as they fly in circles over Washington, D.C. No, it's a fucking cesspool. Right? So I've called it out. I know you guys have too, and I want to thank you for joining me and supporting it. And waking people up has been so key, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic. I want to thank you for your support. People have been sending money in via CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, and also Super Chats. You guys have done great. It's helped keep the lights on and keep the spam in the pantry. Tuna fish too. You guys have been great. Semper Fi means always faithful to what you believe and know to be true. All of it. I'll see you guys 0 dark tomorrow.